These are the Hoka Ora Recovery Slide 3s. They're designed to help aid you in your recovery, but how comfortable are they? Do they really work? And are they worth the money that they're asking for them? Well, those are the questions that we're going to try to answer today, so be sure to stick around. Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Tim, and this is Run Tall. Now, I post running shoe reviews and comparisons and shoe battles weekly, but I also like to post a lot of other videos that are related to running as well, like this one. So if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of context here. So obviously in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Hoka Ora Recovery Slide, the version 3s. And I'm a big user and big fan of recovery slides. I've been wearing the Hoka Ora Recovery Slide, the original version, for a couple of years now. And if I give you just a little bit of context, so about 6 weeks ago, I got injured when I was out running. I was doing a threshold run, and by the end of that run, I thought I'd sprained an ankle, but it turned out to be posterior tibial tendonitis. And I thought there's a bunch of reasons why that could have happened, maybe the camber of the road or just the way that I was running, particularly on that day. But as it turns out, and I didn't discover this until just recently when I was getting ready to do a different shoe review or comparison here on the channel, I was running in the original AlphaFly version 1. And I had a lot of miles in them, so I had just been using them for training purposes. But what I discovered recently, and it makes perfect sense to me now, is that I had put too many miles on these, right? So I had over 327 miles in these now, which is a lot of miles for a super shoe especially. And I wore the outsole rubber down to the point where it popped that air unit. So if you take the air unit that's still intact and I try to push on it, you can see I really can't compress that with my thumbs. But on the other side, where I had worn that outsole rubber right off and the integrity of the air unit has now been compromised, I can take my fingers and just look at that. I mean, there's just nothing there anymore. So consequently, at the end of that threshold run, because of that popped air unit, it had put my running stride into a different position that I wasn't used to, and it overloaded the tendon on my foot. And as a result, posterior tibial tendonitis. And unfortunately, that was right before a marathon that I was to run, about 10 days before. And so fast forwarded, I ran that marathon anyway, and I wasn't fully recovered. And as a result, by the time I finished, I got through the marathon okay. It was uncomfortable, but when I finished, that's when the real pain began. By the time I could barely get back to my hotel room, and then when I did get back to that room, I was basically had to crawl around on all fours so that I didn't put any kind of pressure on that ankle and that tendon because it hurt so badly. So when I got home, I decided, the first thing you do is, you break out, a cane to relieve any kind of stress that you might be putting on that ankle. So I needed to offload that weight. But the other piece was, when I was able to get up and move around, I was going to be using the Hoka Ora recovery slides. And now these are the original version. And again, I've had these for a couple of years, and they've seen me through, a number of just plain workout recoveries, right? So I was out doing some hard sessions. I come in and slip these on my feet and give my feet a bit of a treat. But it's also got me through a few different injuries in the past. The thing is, they're a couple of years old, and I have spent a lot of time in these, especially outdoors. And I really wanted a clean pair, really a new pair that I could just use in my home. And I was surprised at the differences between the original version and version 3. The changes that they made in the design are significant enough that I thought we should do a video. All right, so let's talk about these shoes just in general to begin with, because there are some things that are exactly the same. They both of these, the original version as well as these, have a dual density layer foam, so they're using EVA foam. The top layer is much softer. That's where you get that max cushion that gives you that nice comfortable feeling when you slip these on. And then the bottom layer is a more dense EVA foam that also serves as the outsole. So there's no additional outsole material here. It's just all EVA foam. But the top layer is super comfortable. In this version of the shoe, they're using a recycled sugarcane material. And I like that. I like the fact that they're using some sustainable material. I always appreciate when companies are going green like that, because we got enough waste in the world. We really don't need any more of it. Very comfortable. And so one of the questions that I said that we would talk about today is just how comfortable are they? Well, they're super comfortable. You got that all that cushion that's underneath your feet. So if you're a runner or you're an athlete of any kind and you're out doing those hard sessions and you want to treat your feet when you get done, then these are the ticket, because they're going to feel super comfortable on foot. There's a good deal of arch support here, so that really feels terrific. So your feet aren't necessary, or your ankles aren't necessarily going to be doing a lot of rolling in these, because again, they have a pretty good arch support there, but they're cushioned enough that you kind of sink down into them, and that feels just absolutely fabulous. And do they work? Well, I can tell you that it does relieve your pain. So are you going to heal faster? I don't know. I don't know that it's actually going to speed up your recovery, but regardless of the amount of time it takes for you to recover, you can make it feel a little bit more comfortable. So from that respect, I say that they're right on target, and they do a fantastic job that way, because it does relieve some of that pain. And I have to think that if you're not in pain when you're walking in these, that it is helping to speed up your recovery. But I have no way of really substantiating that claim, so I'm not going to go there. But what I'm going to say is, if you want to recover in a little bit more comfort, then these are definitely the way to go. So, but another question is, are they worth the money that they're asking for them? Now, these retail for $60 US. Now, that's a lot of money for basically a slide that you're buying. I would say yes, that they are worth the money, because when you're in pain, you're going to pay just about anything to not be in pain any longer. So I definitely would pay the $60. The other question is, are they worth more than the original version of the shoe? Because the original version retailed for $50 US. Now, they did buy these a couple of years ago when things have gone up in price. You would expect that. But you can now find these on sale for about $40. Now you got a $20 difference. So let's talk about some of these differences so that you can determine whether or not you might be satisfied buying the original version, or if you want to get the latest and the greatest. So a couple of notable things. First, these are much lighter, and I'll put the weights up. I don't remember exactly what they are, but these are considerably lighter on foot. And these are the original version, the Hoka Ora recovery slides, version 1, and then these are version 3. A part of that is because version 3, and these are both US men's size 9s, by the way. And that's true to size for me in a running shoe. And I'm okay with the fact that I went with size 9 on both of them. But I might have been able to go down a size with the newest version. And that's because they're so much bigger. They're just a bigger shoe. And I'll put a picture up here for you to see that. And I'll try to show you here on camera. So you can see. Now I've got the heels kind of lined up, as close as I can. But look how much taller the version 3 is. Considerably bigger, and they just have more material. So there's a more shallow footbed on the original version, so you can see there's barely any lip there, especially back towards your heel. But in version 3, it's a much deeper, so you're setting down, your foot is actually setting down deeper into the foam. They're both really comfortable to wear. I would say that, from that respect, it's just a matter of getting used to them. I spent so much time in these that when I first slipped these on, they did feel a little bit strange on foot, but now that I've wore these around the house for a while, they just feel second nature to me. So I didn't notice it that much that they're actually a bit longer. So I'm fine going with true to size for me, but again, I probably could have gone down a size. The other thing that's notable is the strap that your foot is sliding into is a little bit more shallow on the first version than it is in version 3. And the reason I bring that up is if you like to wear socks with your slides, the socks actually do fit better in version 3 for me, because you have a slightly bit more room. I don't have quite as much room in these, so consequently my foot feels like it's kind of jammed in there just a little bit more. It's not uncomfortable. It's just these slip on and slip off easier if you happen to like to wear socks. And I do wear socks when I'm headed down. If I was going to wear these, for example, maybe to do just a quick grocery run or something, go down and pick up a gallon of milk at the local store. So both are great. I love the fact that they are, they wash up so easily. They're both waterproof, so you can throw them in your washing machine with some mild detergent and you'd be fine. Or just hose them off for that matter. So hygienically, they're really good for your feet. In fact, they do have a seal of approval from the Podiatrist Association. I don't recall their exact name, but if you want, I'll put that up on screen as well. And that says a lot. If If the professionals in the field of feet say that these are good for you or good for your feet, then kudos. Kudos to Hoka, because that is saying something. Both are really breathable, and that's important. These are slightly more breathable, I think, because just look at the ventilation up on that strap compared to the original version. There's not nearly quite as much. Both are super comfortable. Both will get the job done. In terms of how they feel on foot, I think that these feel a little softer. They're not Ufus soft. So if you're familiar with Ufus is a much softer footbed. But these felt really good to me when I was starting back, starting to bear weight on my ankle again, on that posterior tibial tendonitis. The Ufus was a little too squishy for me. I needed a little bit more support. I needed for my ankle not to be rolling in so much, but I still needed a lot of cushion on the bottom of my foot as well. And these were the ticket. These are the ticket. These are what I've been wearing. I just recently started running again, and these are the first things that I put on when I get home. So when it comes to choosing between these two, if you're just looking for the function of the sandals, I think that the version 1 is a great way to go. You can pick them up for about $40 right now on most sites that I've seen them on. But if you want just a slightly bit more cushion, maybe a slightly deeper slide for your feet to set in, then obviously version 3 is the way to go. And aesthetically, they do look quite a bit different. These obviously have a much more modern feel or look to them, and I do think they look great. I think these look really nice with shorts or even a pair of khakis. You can wear these around and just look stylish. Where these are a bit more old school, but if you're simply looking for function and you want to save yourself a little bit of money, these are going to get the job done. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. Thanks for making it to the end. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Run Tall with Tim.